The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi guys, good evening, all of you. Good evening, everyone. How are you guys? Uh, you'll get the internship letter by this week. Don't worry. Fine. You'll get all your internship letters by this week. Okay, by the end of this week. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Uh, I don't think he can join now in this internship. Okay, if you have doubt, like I don't know exactly whether he can join, you can directly contact to our unib manager, that email id you have, no, that email id you can directly mail and ask them if your friend wants to join, what is the, if they can join it now in this or not. How are you guys? Fine. How is the weather? Winter weather? Good evening, good evening. So is there any doubt how to get credentials of LMS? LMS again, I would say that I we have the sent a link to you. We have sent a link now. Okay, I'll send a link to you. You just have to go for the lost password. Okay. So Again, an LMS link I've sent you, where you have to go for the lost password. You have to add your registered email ID with the email ID what you have. Okay, what you have registered in this particular in a internship. Fine. So with that in email ID, you should like recover your password. Okay. Your voice is not coming properly. Achha, you can rejoin. Okay, screen is not visible because I have not shared you any screen. Fine. Now is it visible? Screen is visible, guys. We are going to do a full stack project, but not a very big project. It's a small project only according to our timeline of the this course. So that's a small project only, but it will be a good full stack project where you will get an idea of how to write a backend, how to sorry, you'll get an idea of how to write a front end and how to call an APIs and all. No, next batch in, we don't know about that. Actually, we don't know about that. When the next internship it will schedule, although it will be scheduled as soon as possible. But okay, fine. I think we can start. I think you have seen on my screen. Uh, 7 o'clock the session will start. Session has started actually. Fine. Okay. Fine. So today we are going to discuss about cascading style sheet, which we call as a CSS. Fine. Cascading style sheet, or we call in the short form as CSS. Okay. Style sheet, as I told you previously also, it's just to give the colors, the formats to your website. Fine. It adds the beautification in your website. That's what it does. Okay. And to write it, to make your website beautiful, we have to learn this CSS. Okay, we have to not learn, at least practice it. Fine. I'm not telling to learn because there are so many things over here in the style sheet. But basic, you should know that what we can or what we cannot do with the cascading style sheet. Okay. So fine, we'll start. Fine. So cascading style sheet. Again, I told you it's a style sheet. Fine. How to write it? Correct. This is the major question. Like, sir, how to write it? Okay. In order to write the cascading style sheet, first of all, what do you need? You need an element. Fine. What do you need? You need an element. Which element you want to color it, or which element you want to align it, or which element you want to drag it, or which element you want to zoom it or zoom out it. Fine. So first of all, you need to select the element. That in our CSS is called selector. Fine. There are many selectors. There are different types of selector. We'll talk a few and how we can select it, that we can write. Fine. Uh, okay. So that we can write. There are many selectors. After selector, there are properties. Now, properties are what? Properties are like you are adding a border. That is one property. Adding a border is a property. Adding a color is a property. Changing the font is a property. And changing the font style is a property. Changing the line height, fine. Making it enlarged in size, fine. Making it enlarged in size, scaled up, scaled down. These are all what properties, and there are many properties over there. Many properties over there. Fine. So many properties. And then we have a value. How to write it? Correct. How to write it? So, okay, over here, I hope the screen is visible now. We are writing this CSS like this. First of all, we are writing the selector over here. We are writing what? Selector. Fine. After the selector, after whatever the selector, you have to select an element. You have to pick an element. Fine. One element, 10 elements, 100 elements, it's up to you. You have to pick an element. Fine. After picking an element, you have to give a curly bracket, and then you have to write the property. Fine. You have to write what? Property, and then its value. Now property, what I told, font, color, border, those things are your property, and then the value. Fine. This is what the structure of CSS looks like. This is how we actually write the CSS. Correct. Now how we integrate this CSS into HTML, let's look. Fine, let's look about that. So what I will do is that let's go to our uh, huh. I think form is done. Okay, these things are done. Fine. Let's now create a new folder and write it as CSS folder. Okay, let's write this as a CSS folder over here. In this CSS folder, just we are today learning the basics. Okay, so 01. Okay, sorry, 01 underscore index dot html. Fine. Okay, let's create a folder over here and then write it. New folder 01 CSS basics. Okay, I will move my file over here in this 01 CSS basics and rename this. I will rename this. It's not look nice. I'll rename this as index.html. Fine. Nice. Shortcut written. Okay. Now here three ways. Three ways you can write a CSS. Fine. Three ways. Okay. Suppose I am writing what? I'm writing a I'm writing a heading, H2 heading, and I'm writing welcome to WSA internship. Fine. Welcome to WSA internship. I have written. Okay. After that, I have written p tag lorem. Okay. Lauren, I have written like this. Now what I want to do is that I want to make this heading as a red color. Let's make it as what? Red color. So the first way we can do is an inline CSS. First way is called what? Inline CSS. What you have to write? See, selector is there. Inside the selector, as an attribute, we have to write this. Now here the selector part is vanished. Okay, here the selector part is vanished. We don't have to write the selector because we are writing inside an element. So no need of selector. Okay, so here we'll just write style as an attribute. Okay, and then you see so many properties are coming. These are all properties, guys. These are all properties, and you can keep on going. These are all properties. Fine. So what we have to do? We have to make it color. So you have to write color. Fine. Color. What color? Red in color. Fine. You write it red in color. That's all. That's all, guys. See what I have written. I have written the style attribute and then I have written property and the value. Correct. This is written inside an element. So there is no point of selector over here. Okay. Similarly, if I write p tag and if I want a border, over here, so I'll write style again. I'll write a style and yes, you have to write this style, otherwise properties and values will not work. Okay, you have to write this style border. Fine. 1 pixel, that is the border width. 1 pixel solid means Like what type of border you want? Do you want a border solid line, or do you want a dashed line, or do you line not a continuous lines? So that's what we are writing solid, and by default it is a black color. If you want, you can give a different color, that is blue in color. Fine, suppose, fine, so this will be blue color. Okay, let's make it as 2 pixel. Okay, let's make it as 2 pixels so that it is visible to you. So you can see over here it is visible. This is called inline CSS. Inline. This is written inside the element. Hello guys, is it audible? Hello guys, am I audible now? Hello guys, is it audible? No, no, yes, no, mixed answer. Audible? Now it is it audible? And okay. But voice is breaking. Okay. Okay, from where I should start again then? Those who are not getting my videos, please rejoin. Please rejoin. Check your internet connection, guys. No, the session is not stuck. The session is not stuck. Video is not visible. No, the session is not stuck. Nireksha. Video is visible. Um, some background sound is coming. Okay, now. How to see the recorded session? Welcome. Now, can you see, guys? Others. Selvam, can you confirm? Selvam sir, can you confirm once whether the audio and video is clear or not for us?
Yes, sir, video and audible is clear from my side.
Okay. So, guys, those who are facing the issue, can you please rejoin, guys? I think from my side, internet speed is also fine. Okay. Fine. So, from where we should start, guys? Where did you lose me? Is it visible, guys? My screen is visible to you? Screen is not visible. For every few minutes it is getting stuck. Yes, maybe it can happen. For every few minutes it can get stuck. Salvam sir, can you check the broadcast is going on correct? Can you check once? YouTube one. For you it is visible. For many of the people, yeah, yes, visible now, visible now, visible now. Okay, for those who are able to see the screen and clear audio, can you raise your hand? I want to see the numbers. Can you just raise your hand? There is an option of raising a hand over here on the left hand side of your screen. A hand symbol has been there. Can you just click on that?
Rohit said in live also it's going properly.
Live
YouTube
also
live.
it's going. Many of the people but are getting network issue. Sallam. You see, so many messages are for network issues. Can you tell me the number of hand raised? I am only getting 6, 7. YouTube is fine, go to issues.
Yeah, YouTube stream is good. So people are also telling in YouTube stream is good.
So can you
So I
share
think you
the
can
link?
continue.
Can
Yeah,
you
I'll
share
share
them
the
the
YouTube link.
link for the YouTube
Yes,
link?
yeah. Okay. So you
Send it to
continue. I
all.
think you can continue. Yeah, I will send it in chat.
To send it to everyone. Fine. So guys, those who are getting, and can you write a message that those who are getting an issue can join from the YouTube live stream? Okay, I hope so. Before a mishap, we were talking about the style sheet, how we can write a style sheet. So there I told you that we have a selector, we have properties, and we have values in that. Fine. So now in the inline style sheet, guys, fine, as I showed you in the VS Code over here. Okay. Now in the inline style sheet, as I have shown you in the VS Code over here, fine, for me it is also not visible. It has been stuck. I don't know why. Okay. So over here, we have written in the inline style sheet. This is what we called as an inline style sheet. What inline? Okay, in the inline style sheet, we don't have to worry about the selectors. Correct. We don't have to worry about the selector. Okay, in the inline style sheet we only have to worry about the attributes. We have to write the attributes, then we have to write the property, that is color, and then we have to write what should be the value. Okay, what should be the value, we have to write like that. Okay, fine. This is what we call as an inline style sheet. Now can you tell me what is the problem over here in the inline style sheet? What should be the problem over here in the inline style sheet? Suppose I am writing more p, one more p after one br tag and one more br tag. I'll write one more p tag over here. Fine. In this p tag again a lorem, and this time I will write like 10 words. Okay, 10 words. Fine. Okay, one br tag is enough. Okay. See, this I have written. Fine. Again, you have to write a style over here. Correct? You have to write a style. Then you have to write what? Display property. Sorry, not display property. Let's make it as what? Font size and larger. Fine. make it as font size was larger. This is one more properties. Like this, we can add a number of properties. Fine. Like this, we can add a number of properties over here. Okay. Like number of properties. So if we add a number of properties over here, don't you think this element will be very, very big? This element will become very big. If we start adding the number of elements over here, this number of, sorry, properties over here, this element will become very big. Okay, and since this element will become very big, it will be not feasible to read. And also what will happen, now we have only written 3 elements. Okay, now we have only written 3 elements, but what if you will write 1,000 elements? So 1,000 times you have to write the style tag, and in the 1,000 elements you have to style it all differently. Is this a tedious job? Is this a tedious work to do? Yes or no, guys? Is this a tedious work to do? Selvan sir, can you share once again the YouTube link to all of them? 2-3 times can you share it? Okay. So I was asking, is this a tedious job? Yes, it is a tedious job. Yes, it is a tedious job, because for 1,000 elements, for each and every element, you have to write it, you have to design it for each and every element. Okay, suppose some elements are similar in nature. Again, you have to write the copy paste code you have to write. So that is what type of code? That is what type of code? That is a repeated code. Fine. We does not, in the programming language, we does not support the repeated code. Correct. We does not support the repeated code. Fine. So for that, the upgraded version of this, what it comes is that internal style sheet. Fine. What it came is what? Internal style sheet. Fine. Internal style sheet. So how we have to write an internal style sheet? So internal style sheet is written inside this head tag. Inside this head tag. Inside this head tag, we have an element, or you have a tag called style. Okay, you have a tag called style. In this style, first of all, you have to select your element. What element you want to select? Suppose h2 tag. Then you have to write your property. So what property, what color? And I will write red in color. Fine. I'll write what? Red in color, and let me remove it from here. Let me remove it from here. Can you tell me, guys, whether our style property removed or not? No, it didn't remove from there. As you can see, h2 tag still has that red color. Why? 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 Because I have added over here selector. This is a selector. It means we are selecting h2 tag. On h2 tag, what you can do, you can add a color. You can add a background color. Fine. Background color of, suppose, bisque. You can add a background color. You can also add some padding over here, like padding over here, like 2 pixel. Fine, like this 2 pixel, or make it as 10 pixels. See, like this we can add so many properties over here. Padding means space. We'll talk about that. So many spaces we can add. Correct. See, we can add so many spaces over here. So many properties inside one selector. We can add it. Now what happened? Our HTML logic, our HTML is different, and our style sheet will be different. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? This solved our problem, no? Where we were writing on each and every element, now we have to write only one. We have to write the selector. If suppose like both the P's are there, okay, if I'll write selector P, now I can make this color. I can make the color go aqua. Aqua is too light. I can make the color blue. Fine, I can make the color blue, and I can also add the border to them. That is 2 pixel solid red in color or yellow in color, yellow green in color. Fine, see here. Understood, guys? Did you understand? You can also message in the YouTube. I am seeing that. Fine, I can also answer you there. Don't worry about attendance, guys. Worry about what do you learn today. From the first day, I am telling. Your attendance is not important as your time. Okay. Did you understand this concept of from inline style sheet to internal style sheet? Fine. Okay. Now here, one problem is occurring. If you can see, one problem is there that if I choose P as my selector, what if I choose P as my selector? Okay, then the paragraph what I have written first and the paragraph what I have written second, on both of them, on both of the paragraphs, we are adding the same colors, we are adding the same borders. What if for the first paragraph I need something else? What if for the second paragraph I need something else? Then how to do that? And then how to do that? Okay, so for that we have a concept of what? Classes and IDs. Have you heard of that? Classes and ID, that concept. Fine. So what will happen? What we can do? See, we can give a particular name to an element in the form of class or in the form of ID. Okay, we can give a particular name to the uh, to the element in the form of class or in the form of ID. Now, what is the difference between them? Fine. What is the difference between them? Okay, fine. If you want, I think engagement is not there on the screen. That's why you are facing issue. Let me. Okay. So I was talking about what? Let's give names to the elements. Correct. Fine. In the form of what? In the form of what? Classes and ID. Fine. So okay. So what is Not classes over here. Classes is a wrong statement over here. It should be a class, not classes. Okay. So what is the difference between? See how we have to write. You can write, if it is a paragraph tag, you can write a class, and here you can write any name. Fine, any name. Okay, as an attribute. Class should be written as an what? Attributes. Okay, fine. And then here you can write your lorem, whatever the paragraph tag, and here you can write like this. So what we did, we gave this paragraph a name. What we did, we gave this paragraph a name. Fine. Similarly, if you have to write id, you have to write like p tag. Fine, we have to write like this p tag. Okay, and then we have to write id over here. Then we have to give id, and then here again you have to write the lorem, and then p. Fine. Okay. Can you tell me the difference between class and id, guys? What do you think? What do you think this id means? Can you think like, is this unique in nature? Yes, IDs, I told you that day also, IDs are always unique in nature. Whatever it may be, IDs are always unique in nature. Fine. And classes are what? Not unique in nature. What you can do, see the difference. This is what? Unique. Okay, this is what? Unique. Classes, so one element can have more than one class names. Fine. This is the first point. This is the first point. One element can have more than one class names. Okay. Secondly, one class name can be used in or for more than one elements. Fine. And what is the ID? What is the meaning of ID? Always unique. Fine, always unique. So one class name can be used for more than one element, and one element can have more than one class name. Okay. So with the help of this, what we can do is that we can distinguish between similar elements. Fine. We can distinguish between what? Similar elements over here. Fine. So let's go on to the code and let's see how we can write it. Fine. Okay. So see over here. What if I can write p tag and I will write a class of para1? Okay, what if I can write a class of what? Para1. Fine. Okay. In this para1, I can write para. So instead of writing as a p, I can write, see, classes are always accessible in dots. Fine. If you write dot means you are writing now a class name. If you write dot means you are writing what? Class name. Para1. Fine. Now you see the changes over here in the right hand side. As soon as I have written dot para1, only the first paragraph or only the first p tag have the CSS. Only the first paragraph have the CSS. So dot para1. Fine. And same thing we can write second paragraph as an ID. Suppose let me delete this thing. ID, and here I can write paragraph. Fine, I can write paragraph. So ID is what? Paragraph. Now here I can apply now see, ID will be always applied with the hash. Okay, hash paragraph. Fine, hash paragraph. Okay, in this hash paragraph, see, this is again selector, guys. Hash paragraph dot para1, these are all selector, and we are selecting it by their names. We are selecting by their names. Okay, so here font size, if you want to write the font size larger, if you want to write background color BGC, that is background color, so you can apply a background color of grayish. Fine, grayish background color. You can apply padding over here, and you can apply 10 pixel. Fine, then you can also apply color. Fine, color aqua like this. So now you see two para tags. Fine, two paragraph, but differently we have given the CSS. The styling of those two paragraphs are now different. So this is only possible when we have given ID and classes to them. Fine. If you want more, see, if you want more, suppose one more pre tag is there. Okay, pre tag is there. It is also covered with lorem 15 lines of code. Fine. Okay, now in this pre tag you want the style of the first paragraph. Nothing you have to do. You write a class and you write para1. You write what? Para1. Now you will get the style of the first paragraphs only, whatever the style you have written. Whatever the style you have written, you'll get the paragraph of first one. Punana, it's fine from my side. Speed is fine from my side. You can do the project in PyCharm, no issues. See, guys, if you ask so much about attendance, no, so I will deduct everyone's attendance today. Please don't ask about attendance. This is very annoying. What I told you, your attendance is not important. Your time is important. I'll not give anyone attendance if you again ask for me attendance, and then specifically to those persons who will write. So please don't write such messages. Nobody is asking about what we are studying over here. Attendance, LMS, only these issues. Have you watched the recordings? In the recording, everything is mentioned. Everything is mentioned. If you seriously watch the recordings, you'll get to know it. But you guys don't have patience. Aditya, our username password is not there. You have no username. You have an email ID. That email ID, when you have registered to this particular course, that time, that email ID, whatever you have given, that email ID, with that email ID, you can write, you can have your lost password. Are you able to understand, guys, this whatever I have made you understand? The difference between class and ID, why classes and ID came, what is the difference between inline style sheet in the internal style sheet? What clear overview you want, Soumyan? Sanjeev, what clear overview you want? No, that's what I'm telling. See, you can use it. Trupti Manish, you can use it. He is asking, like, sir, can ID be also used to the preserve tags? See, you can use it, okay, but it is not ethical. Means it is not what it's suggested. IDs are always unique. You cannot repeat an ID name. You cannot give another element the same ID name. It cannot be done. If you try, it may happen, but it is not what it is considered. Okay, IDs are always what unique. Just look at your just look at your admission ID, your roll number, whatever the ID, wherever the ID, your 10th set, your 10th board roll number, that is unique. So IDs are always unique. Other ID is there, PAN ID is there. They're always unique. Okay. Now here also one more problem occurred. Fine. Here in this one, in this whatever inline style sheet, one more error project occurs. Fine. Okay, we shout. Thank you. So I was telling, like, yes, sir, like, now here also one problem occurred. The problem was that suppose we have the 1,000 lines of code, 1,000 lines of HTML code, fine, and we have to write CSS more and more, because you see, for each and everything we have to write a property. So obviously the CSS, whatever the style tag we will write, it will grow. Fine, style tag we will write, it will grow. So what will happen? The HTML will be inside the body tag, and in the head tag all the CSS will be there. Now it will become a very, very large file. If suppose I'm telling you, if there is 1,000 lines of HTML you have written, so it will become very, very large file. And then what you will do, in order to write anything, in order to write any CSS, and in order to add that CSS inside your element, you have to move your scroller, move your cursor up and down, up and down. And how many times you will do? That is again a tedious job. Fine. That is again a tedious job over there. So what the creators thinks, let's add an external CSS file. What we can do, let's add an external CSS file. So what they told is that you can create a new file over here in the CSS basic. You can create a new file and you can name it as style or anything. Naming, you can do anything, but the extension remains CSS. The extension remains CSS. Fine. In the index.html, whatever you have written in the style tag, cut it. Fine, cut it. Okay, and write it inside our style tag. Okay, now there is one major question: how the css is going to be applied over here. Now you see the css are in the separate file, html are in the separate file. We need to combine. We need to what? Link them. Correct. We need to what? Link them. So in order to link the css from our html file, we have to write a link. Fine, a link. Okay, relationship is what? Style sheet. Fine, and hyper reference link we have to give. Again, relative part dot forward slash style dot css. So now you can see whatever the style it was applied previously with the internal style sheet, now it has applied externally also. Now the style sheet is separate and the index.html is separate. Now this style sheet has one more advantage. We can use the same style sheet for another project. Fine. Inside the head, we can combine them, not using the head. Inside the head, we can combine them. Fine. So in the head you can write this link. Now what we have done, we have linked the css with this index.html. Fine, and what it will do, it will apply all the css properties over here. Done? Understood? Now one more thing I will ask, what do you mean in the cascading style sheet? What do you mean by cascading, guys? What do you think? What is the meaning of cascading? uh, Uma Maheshwari, about a month. 30 classes. Now the 30 classes will be tell me guys, cascading means what? Meaning of cascading, just tell me. You can Google it. Dictionary you have. Just tell me, na. Templating, okay. Styling the skeleton HTML tag using selector. No, I'm just asking, not the cascading style sheet. I'm asking what is the meaning of cascading. Okay, Sunny, no need to spam. I understand you are writing templating. I told also templating. See, if you search for the cascading means a small, what you call, um, small, what you call waterfall. Okay, a type of waterfall it is. Okay, waterfall. From top to bottom, the water is falling. That's what called cascading. Fine, cascading. Okay. If I tell you that cascading is actually used over here, Fine. Now I'll tell you how. What if I can write over here, if you see the style CSS, para 1 I have applied color blue. Fine, please see over here. I have applied color blue. If you ask me, same thing, what if I write after this, I'll write one style tag. Okay, I'll write one style tag. I'll write again dot para 1 and I'll make the color. Fine. Let me just what you call now, close this for a moment because you have to answer it. Color, that is blue. Let's write it as red over here. Okay, fine. Suppose I have applied this. Fine. Now can you tell me guys which color will be applied, red or blue? Can you tell me which color will be applied, a red or blue color? Now I have written an external style sheet, I have written an internal style sheet also. Very good. Red color it will be. Yes, it will be red color. Why? Because you see, this is what link tag. Okay, red color. Fine. If I write over here one style tag, not here, sorry, in the para one only, a style tag. Okay, and over here I'll write a color of green. Now, can you tell me which color it will be applying? Why? Can you tell me the reason why the green has been applied over here? The green is applying because it appears at the end. If you see from top to bottom, this is where we have written the external style sheet. After the external style sheet, fine. After the external style sheet, we have written what? Internal style sheet. After the internal style sheet, we have written inline style sheet. Fine. Cascading from top to bottom. So whatever you have applied at the end, that will appear. Whatever you have applied at the end, that will appear as a color or whatever the styles you have applied. Fine. In that, inline is the nearest one. Fine. Inline is the nearest one. So inline is applied over here. Now, what you can do, if I suppose if I remove over here inline, the style over here, this I will remove. And what if I can make this link tag after this style tag? Now, can you tell me which color will be applied? Let's see. Which color is applied? Green I have removed. Blue. So those who were sending me the priority list, now you see internal and external one. Which one makes the priority now? The external one. Why? Because I changed the way how it was written. Fine. So it's not about what you call memorizing everything. It's about understanding, right? So you see now how you have said, some of the people have sent me the priority list, correct? So see, internal, external, external, internal. Fine. Okay. So that's why it is called cascading style sheet. Okay, so we understood about how the cascade, what is cascading style sheet, how we can apply the cascading style sheet, and we also learned about a selector, about class and ID, the difference between class and ID. Fine. Up to here, anybody has any doubt? Yes, correct, Kirtana. Positioning also matters. That's what, na? It positions the external style sheet below the internal style sheet. Okay, shall we move forward then? Okay, fine. Now we'll talk about box model. Fine, we'll talk about what? Box model over here. So what we can do. Let's open this inside our browser. Fine, let's open this inside our browser. So you can see how in the browser it looks like. Correct. Okay. Now, just what you can do is that right click on this particular area and go for inspect. Right click on this any particular area and go for inspect. Once you go for inspect, fine. Once you go for inspect, then you come here, somewhere here. Okay. You can now go for this selection, this icon, if you can see over here. Okay, let me just show it to you. This icon, if you can see over here, fine, click on this icon. Okay, and click on anything, fine, any element you can click on. Suppose I'm clicking on this heading. Fine, I clicked on this heading. So as you can see, guys, this one, if you can see this one over here, fine. Okay, let's delete everything. If you can see this one over here, this is actually telling you which current element you have selected. Fine, which current element you have selected. So I have selected what? I have selected H3, sorry, H2 tag. Correct, I have selected an H2 tag, a heading tag. Okay, so a heading tag, that in that, if you go and see, if you click this style, these boxes, you can see the colors are changing on the heading side, on the left hand side of the screen also. So whatever you have written, welcome to WSA internship, that is of width 912 and height 27.20, right? Then we have given, see, everything now over here is represented as a box. Everything on the website is represented as a box. That's why it is called box model. Fine, everything. If you hover over anything, no, hover over anything, you'll find that all those things are being shown as a box. Fine, and over here you will find this model. So whatever you have written, that size, then they have given about the padding. What they have told? They have told about what? Padding. Padding means, padding is a distance or a space between border and the content you have written. Padding is the space between the border and the content you have written. Fine. Border, the same border what we have given. Fine. The same border, 2 pixels, solid red in color, that border. That is what we called as a padding. Fine. That is what we called as a padding, and you can see we have given a padding over here. Fine. Padding over here, what? 10 pixels of padding we have given. Okay, then what? Border comes. Fine, for here you can see we don't have any border, so the border is 0 0 0 0. So that's why you cannot find over here the border. Okay, now after that border there is something called as margin. Now this margin means this is the space between This is the space between two elements. Two elements. Fine. Okay, that is the last space. Okay, between the two elements, how much space they need, how much the space they need to be aligned together and everything. That is what it meant by the margin. And by default, guys, by default, this 19.920 and this 19.920 on the top and the bottom is been given. Fine. So this one is called top, this one is called top, this one is called bottom. Fine. If you see over here, so this is called what? Top right hand side. Fine. And bottom left side. So top and bottom, these properties are given by default by the browser itself. Okay, so see here, see if I hover over anything, I'm getting a box, I'm getting a box structure. If I select anything, suppose if you select this one, you can see border is what we have given 2 pixels. It is coming 1.6 pixel. It has adjusted itself a little bit. Adjustment it has given. Fine. So 1.6 pixel. Okay. On all the 4 sides, 16 pixel as margin has been given, and padding you can see we have not given any padding, so no padding is there when we are selecting this paragraph. Fine. This para one. Okay, now how to give padding, margin and everything, let's see. Over here in the CSS we can create a new folder name as 02 underscore box underscore model. Fine. 02 box model. Fine. Okay, right click, create a new file, and we can write index.html. Now I'm not creating any external style sheet because fine, we have to write a minimum line of code. That's why let's do it with the internal style sheet only. Okay, fine, and we are learning about box model. Now see, again we can write an heading s2 tag like box model. Fine. Okay, and then we can write an h3 over here that we are learning now about padding. Okay, we are learning now about what? Padding over here. Fine. Okay, now let's write a paragraph paratag with a lorem. Fine, lorem. Fine. Okay, let's name this, or let's give a class name over here as para1. Fine, let's give this as a class name para1. Okay, let's add some style over here. Fine, let's not any style. Fine, just to apply a border. Okay, so how to select a class name, guys? How to select a class name? How to select a class name? What special symbol is there to select a class name? Yes, very good. Dot and the class name. Okay. Fine. Over here, just what I told, add a border. Fine. To pixel solid red. Okay. Now guys, see here, we are adding, we can add padding on the top. Fine. Suppose padding at the top, I am writing 10 pixel. Okay, 10 pixel of space I want. From the top, I want 10 pixel of space. Padding from the right hand side, I need 20 pixel. Suppose padding, fine. Padding from the bottom line, fine. Padding from the bottom, I need suppose 30 pixel. Okay, and padding from the left hand side, I need what, 40 pixels. Now let's see. Now let's give one more thing. Let's give a background color. Azure. Okay, fine. Go live. And as you can see guys, you can see over here, right click, inspect, and first of all we'll select this element. Okay, and once you go over here, you can see from the top 10, from the right hand side 20, from the bottom 30 pixel, and from the left hand side 40 pixel. It is given, correct? Fine, it is given. Okay. Okay, this is what the padding looks like, as a distance between the border and the content what you have written. You can see. Fine, you can see. Now you will ask me, sir, we have to write so many things. Fine. Over here we have to write all the padding, top, bottom, right, left. What if there is a shortcut where we can write everything in a single line? So yes, there is a shortcut. Fine. In order to write it in everything in the same line, what you have to do, you have to write the padding. Fine. Shortened property it is padding 10 pixel. Fine. First you have to write the top, then you have to write right hand side 20 pixel, then you have to write bottom side 30 pixel, then you have to write left hand side, that is 40 pixel. You have to write like this: top, right, bottom, left. Now you will ask, sir, do we have to remember that top, right, bottom, left? I'll say no, you don't have to remember. I'll give you a good analogy. Fine. To remember, to just now you will get memorized. Fine. Have you seen clock? Everybody has seen clock, correct? So this, fine, 12, 3, 6, 9, correct? Now clock rotates in clockwise direction, correct? So here I can write top, this one I can write right, bottom, left. See, in the same order, that is also in the same order. On the same order you have to remember. Fine. Top, right, bottom, left. Good. Now you will not what you call forget. Fine. Top, right, bottom, left. Okay. Now you will ask me, sir, what if we don't give the any one value. Okay, what if we don't give any one value? Suppose I have not given the left hand side value. What will happen? What will happen if you don't give any left hand side value? Nothing will happen. You know what? It will take its opposite side value. Fine. Here, if you previously what it was? Previously it was 40. Now it is what? 20. It has taken its opposite side value. Fine. If it has taken its opposite side value. Now suppose if I remove bottom also. So can you tell me what will be the value of bottom now? What will be the value of bottom now? What will be the value of bottom now? Very good. 10 pixel, because it will take its opposite side value. Fine. You can go and check. You can check over here that 20 and 20. Left and right is 20. Top and bottom is 10. 10. Right. What if I remove this one also? So what will happen? All the sides will have 10 pixel. All the sides over here will have how many? 10 pixels. You can see. Okay, can you tell me that is if we can give any negative padding? Please try on your own. Please try on your own. If we can give any negative padding. Is a minus padding successful? So as you can see and check, no, you cannot give a negative padding. Okay, you cannot give a negative padding. Fine. So here you can write it takes its opposite fine. If any one side there is a missing value, it takes its opposite side value. That you can write. And the analogy of clock you can remember. Fine. Any doubt guys in padding? Any doubt in padding, guys? Okay. Next, we are going to talk now. See, border we have talked. Not there is not much to talk. Fine. What it is? First of all, in the border, you have to write the width. See here, syntax is given. Line width, line style. What type of style you need? Fine. What type of style you need? And then we have the color. And if you don't write color, by default it will take black value. By default, it is taking black value. Okay. Now let's talk about something called as margin. Okay. Let's write a paragraph over here. Okay. And this, I'll write a class of what? Para2. Okay. Now I'll write lorem over here. Fine. Same, different things we have written. Okay. Now again, over here, let's select para2. Okay. First of all, let's give a border. Border of how much? 2 pixel, solid, or let's write dashed blue. Fine. So how it looks like, you can see over here how it looks like. Fine. It looks like this. Now if you see, guys, if I select over here, what is, how much margin we have given? How much margin? 16. And over here, if you go and check how much margin, 16 it is given, correct? Fine. You can increase more. Again, the margin you can give like this. Now margin is a distance between two elements. I'm telling you, margin is a distance between two elements. See how you can write margin top 20 pixel, margin right 30 pixel, margin bottom. Now margin bottom is a very huge, it will not use, but still we can write it margin bottom as 40 pixel, margin left, fine, it will have what? 50 pixel. Okay, 50 pixel. Fine. Now you can go and check over here. Now you see with the border, it has been aligned. Wherever you have written, where you have written the padding, so there it was only getting inside. Fine, only it was applied inside the border. Now you can see the margin with the border, it is going here and there. Why? Because it is distance between two elements. Fine. Now see over here, see the padding, margin, sorry, see the margin, top 20, bottom right hand side 30, 40, 50. Fine. Now there is again the shortened property for margin is that you can give everything as a shortened property over here. So you can write margin, fine, margin top, first top will come. Now remember the clock, fine, remember the clock. So first value, what it will be, can you tell me? Write it, guys, write it fast as you can write it. Tell me in the chat. Remember the clock and tell me what should the value, or what should be the shorthand property I should write. Yes, top right, bottom left, correct. So top is what? 20, right 20 pixel, right 30 pixel, top right bottom 40 pixel and 50 pixel, correct. Now instead of writing in pixels, you can give the units in percentage also. So you can try giving it in inside percentage. Percentage you can give, R rem you can give, em you can give. So many units are there. Fine. So as you can see, it lies somewhere here. Now if you go and check, over this one, you can see 121 pixel from the top, from the right 181, from the bottom 242, and from the right 302 pixel. Fine. Okay. This is way you can apply the padding over here. Now if I remove 50 percentage, what is the value of left hand side, guys? What is the value of left hand side? I don't know shuttle shots, why it is a problem with goto. Very good, 30 percentage, very good. So as you can see over here, the left and the right one, 181 and 181 pixel it is giving us. Can you think, like, is it now coming a little bit in a center? You can see it is coming little bit in the center. Right? And if I remove this two also, so 20% on each side it will be applied. 20% on each side it will be applied. So as you can see, on 20% on each side it has been applied. Can I make this margin negative? Let's try. And if you tried it, you can see that yes, margin can be in negative. You can see it has overlapped it has. So margin can be in negative, padding will never go in negative direction. Okay. The best use case of this margin, padding and everything is, the best use case of these things is when you don't want to give any default style. So what you generally write, we write star means all the elements, body tag, everything, all the elements. I do want to maintain padding 0 pixel. Okay. And then I do want to maintain margin 0 pixel. Means by default also I don't want to give any properties. If suppose if I remove this thing, if I remove, means if I comment out these things, correct. Now you see every element is now how congested it is, how packed it is, because there is no spacing, no padding, no margin is there. Fine. Now you can apply your own padding. Now you can apply your own margin over here. Okay. So this is how actually uh, the developers write it. First they write that for all the elements margin and padding should be 0, because I don't want any default properties from the what you call browser, and then we want to apply our own. Understood, guys? Any doubt? Or clear? Okay. So let's revise what we discussed today. Fine. What we discussed today is that first we saw about what is CSS. Second, we saw about internal, external, and inline style sheet. Correct. Third, we learned about class versus ID. Fourth, we learned about box model. In the box model, we learned about padding and margin. Fine. Okay. Is there any doubt in these things, whatever we have covered today? Because I am ending the session. Clear? Okay. Then thank you guys for joining the session. Thank you everyone. If you have doubt, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, you can leave the session. This session has been over for today. Tomorrow again you can join the class from 7 to 9. Margin, what do you want to understand? Music, all vibes, musical vibes. No quiz, no quiz. Yeah, I don't have any quiz. Thank you everyone. You can leave the session. Thank you guys. Yes, all the days recording has been updated in LMS. Percentage means it will take the whole width of the screen, and according to the it will divide it into percentage. Right? 100% mean whole width of the screen. 50% mean half width of the screen or half height of the screen. Fine. So that's what the percentage value. It's a relative value. Relative value according to your width of the screen. Thank you everyone. All the recordings are being uploaded in the LMS. You can go and check that out. You can leave the session, guys. Thank you. How to access LMS? Yes, you can leave. Go to this link and click on lost password and give the email ID what you have with the email ID you have registered on this cohort or in this internship. To the nearest ancestor means I didn't understand. Tomorrow there is a class. Tomorrow there is a class. Yeah, thank you, Darshan.
At Crescent Institute of Science and Technology in Chennai. Right now, I am doing a full stack web development.
So hi there guys, this is Nikhil. I am from Surat. I enrolled in the full stack.
Hi, I'm Akila Kumam. I'm currently pursuing full stack web development course at Webstack Academy, and I'm here to share my experience on